So, Matt. Good evening. Welcome to the March 13th Clifton Park Town Board meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Councilman Whalen? Here. Councilwoman Sanders? Here. Councilwoman Romano will be absent. Councilwoman Wallowitz? Here. And Supervisor Barrett.
Here, entertain a motion to approve town board meeting minutes of February 27th and March 6th.
So moved.
Thank you by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Whalen. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallowitz? Yes. Supervisor Barrett.
Yes. Communications and announcements. How are we doing on the annual town cleanup day, Mrs. Standard?
We are actually doing very well. Our annual town cleanup day is April 22nd, and we already have well over 200 people signed up. If you're not signed up and you still would like to volunteer to clean up a park or a trail or an open space throughout town, there is still plenty of opportunities. So we had about 450, I think, last year. So there's still room. If you do want to sign up, just call here at Town Hall, 371-6651, or you can email me, astandard@cliftonpark.org. We'd love to help you out.
Fantastic, and you can register as an individual, a team, a family, a duo, a trio, whatever you want. So everybody will be assigned a trail or park, so that way there's no duplication of efforts. And love to have as many people as possible. It's a great town-wide event. Only takes a few hours, and just think of how much cleaner you will help the town be after those few hours. So appreciate everybody's help. Also want to mention on April 30th is our next shredding day. We do that twice a year. Right after tax time is when we do it in spring. So if you have any sensitive documents that you'd like to get rid of for free, we have a great corporate partner, 3N Document Destruction, and they provide the service to the town. We've been doing this for many, many years. We get anywhere from 250 to 300 cars through each time we have the event, and again, that's twice a year. So it's a very popular program, and we're going to continue that. But it's a nice way to get rid of sensitive documents in a very safe and secure manner to ensure that nobody gets a hold of those documents. And it's interesting, I just got a text today, and actually a very official-looking text. I talk about stealing one's identity. Very official-looking text. I don't know if anybody else has received one. Had my bank name, obviously my cell number, and asking me to call a number because my account was flagged for security reasons. Even had a nifty little ID number on the bottom to make it look really professional. So I called the bank manager. He said, "Oh, we've gotten 30 calls today on that. That's a scam somewhere." Because when I called the number, the first thing it asked you for was your social security number. That told me right there that, I don't know. So I hit 0 to see if you could go to a receptionist, and you couldn't. All I wanted was your social security number. So some pretty bad scams out there, but the branch manager told me a lot of people did call the number, and give their social security number, and then thought later that, well, gee, maybe I should call the bank and see. So be careful. Watch out for all that stuff. So anyway, we can't shred a text unless you print it. However, like I said, if you have any sensitive documents we can get rid of those for you. So April 30th, over by Boscov's at the Clifton Park Center Mall. Any other communications or announcements? Okay. Seeing none, we will go to, we have a couple of presentations tonight. The first one is for the Shenendehowa varsity cheerleading team, who had a fantastic year this year, and very proud of their efforts. Coach Lauren Berger's here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the season. Coach? And Amy Price as well.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Thank
Yeah, you can just pull that down. Yeah,
need it.
fine. No, you
And
do. You do.
thank you to the town board for inviting us. Thank you to Alex Brogna for disseminating our accomplishments
Yes,
to
thank you,
everyone. We had a very talented team this year. We were 4th in New York State. We just went last week, even before. Who knows? It all comes together. We had a really great experience there. Not only a great experience, but like I said, we ended up 4th in the state. I wanted to just acknowledge their accomplishments, but the biggest one I wanted to acknowledge that I just actually received yesterday was our team had an average GPA of 92.44.
Very nice.
With 14 team members having a GPA over 90. So that is a huge
Smart and talented.
smart and talented.
That's right.
And then the accomplishments in regard to cheerleading, so we had a full team who could all tumble, which was something no other team in Section 2 could do. They won 5 first place titles, if I'm correct, 1 grand championship title, 1 suburban council championship, 1 sectional championship. So this is clearly a highly accomplished team, and we thank you for recognizing them. They definitely deserve it.
Well, we do have a resolution that we're going to read now, so if you want to hang on there for 2 seconds. And Teresa's going to read that, and then we're going to have you introduce the team. Okay.
A resolution recognizing the Shenendehowa varsity cheerleading team for an outstanding season of team competition. Whereas the Shenendehowa varsity cheerleading squad earned a 4th place finish in New York State competition for co-ed high school cheerleading. And whereas the squad is a team of 21 females and 1 male who have worked tirelessly since the beginning of November, and whereas the team has won 5 first place titles, 1 grand championship, 1 suburban council championship, and 1 sectional championship. And whereas the team competed against all other sectional champs throughout the New York State, placing 4th out of a total of 10 teams, and whereas the team consists of 22 highly accomplished individuals who maintain the gymnastics ability to perform complex routines, and we're the only team in Section 2 to advance to the state finals. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board recognizes the Shenendehowa varsity cheerleading team on a season of accomplishment and on their 4th place finish in the state competition at Syracuse.
Okay, I move that we approve the resolution with a second by the board.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rolowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes. So please, anything else that you would like to say about the year, Lauren or Amy, and would like you to introduce the team?
Yeah. Okay, so our 3 captains, we have Alex Locke, Emma Paradise, Larissa Hughes.
Continuing with our seniors, we have Nicole Barlow, Madison Sames, Meg Klein.
And then we're just calling you up because I can't tell who's junior, which is a good thing. So we'll have Alexa come on up, Ella, Erin, Maddie or Madeline, Ariana, Taylin, Shayna, Alyssa, Jillian, Maya, Lizzie, Amanda, Alyssa, Izzy, and Lauren.
And unfortunately, we are missing 1 tonight for illness, so we'll acknowledge Lakin as well for not being here.
So, so most of these ladies will be coming back. Are you a senior, sir? All
Yes,
right.
he is, unfortunately. Yes, most of them actually will. So we have four seniors.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
So
things
it's
are looking
quite a-
good for next year, too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. High hopes for next year.
Very good, very good. So tell us a little bit about what a daily practice is. I mean, obviously, these are some very difficult but potentially dangerous, right?
Yes.
Routines
We've
that
had
are done.
injuries. Yeah.
Right, so what's a daily practice entail? What's the focus on a regular basis?
Yeah, so a daily practice will be 2 hours typically. We will start out by stretching and conditioning, and then we'll start with, we call it tumbling or gymnastics. So most of them can do back handsprings. Actually, everyone here can do a back handspring. Some individuals can do even more complex gymnastic skills like tucks, or Izzy here is our one with the full, wherever Izzy is, she's our best gymnast. And
One of
then,
my neighbors.
oh, there we go. And you should show him the video of your skills, because you are highly advanced.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
her.
there you go.
I haven't seen her do it down the street.
Listen, do not do it down the street. And then we will, so after we tumble, we will stunt for about an hour to an hour and a half until they get extremely tired, and then we'll run through the routine and call it a day. It is a lot. By the end, at about 6, we practice 4 to 6. By 6 o'clock, they are done.
I can
And they
imagine.
worked hard.
I can imagine. So obviously, to do this is very important. Physical strength, right?
Physical strength.
A lot of working out.
We have a football player here that can tell you.
Well, yeah, I can tell
Do
he's
not
a big guy.
underestimate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, a lot of us picture, the pyramids and the things that you don't do that as much anymore, correct?
We don't. It's
Right.
actually illegal to
Right.
build on top of each other.
Exactly,
So we
and
can
that's
only go
because
one.
of some bad accidents.
I'm
right?
sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I've been coaching for 10 years now, and the sport has changed so much that the stunts we were doing about 5-6 years ago are illegal now
Right.
because of how dangerous they were.
Right. But you can still find new challenges.
Oh yeah,
right?
trust me, they will. Yeah, it is just as complex.
So you just push the legal stuff to the limit.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
right.
you find a
Well,
way.
That's good. That's good. Now, how many of you aspire to do this in college? Right?
Everyone.
Yeah.
You have the talent.
So you certainly have those opportunities in college
Yes.
to do this. And that's it's a great way to extend your cheerleading career and stay active.
Especially with those 94 averages.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes it a little easier to get into some of these colleges. Well, I just want to say congratulations to all of you on an incredible year. And like I said, obviously you'll miss the seniors, but with most of the team returning next year,
We'll be back.
I think, I think you'll be back, and who knows, maybe another round or two. And
Always recruiting, so if you
Yes.
have anybody, send them over.
fantastic. Well, it is great. Historically, we've had many teams. I've been here almost 18 years now, and we've had many teams over that time visit the town. But now we're getting more and more different sports. It's not just soccer and basketball, and whether it be men or ladies. It's a lot of different sports. Lacrosse and swimming and cheerleading, obviously. So it's great to see the diversity of sports as well, opening up new opportunities. And with great coaches like yourself, obviously you're guiding these young adults in a great manner. So congratulations to you too.
Thank
We're going to get a quick picture.
you. All right, try it.
All right, so we'll start the pyramid right here. Because this is on camera, so we definitely don't want to break the law. All right, so if you guys could.
You want 3 rows these?
Sure, whatever you usually do.
Yeah, I feel like you should be closest by now. Middle row back down.
All right. I do have a resolution for you. Come on in.
I have You're fine. You're fine.
And there we go.
Thank you again.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. I'm very proud of you. You can stay for the exciting stuff, but you don't have to. That's the nice thing about public meetings. Thanks again. Good to see you.
Whoa, this is Bear. I don't like this.
You can move up now.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss the excitement.
All right, we do congratulate the team on a great season, and I'm sure they'll be back next year.
Oh my God, it's a bear. I don't want to.
Sure. I'm going to hand it over to our... Yeah, I'm just going to hand it over to you. I'm going to hand it over to our liaison to our Historic Preservation Commission, Mr. Whalen, and he's going to talk about some more history being made in the town of Clifton Park.
So tonight we're pleased to add 2 more houses to the town's register of historic places. With us tonight we've got our town historian John Shearer, and I'm going to ask him to come up and say a few words in a couple of moments about the Van Wert and Schottmeyer houses. We've also got Alex Marini from our Historic Preservation Commission, who has really led the effort the last at least a couple of years, probably longer, in terms of visiting houses, making sure we add them to the register. Since 2015, this is actually 9 properties that the Commission has added to the town register of historic places. So the Commission has been very, very busy. So as always, I thank John and Alex and other members of the Commission who aren't here for all their hard work. We certainly couldn't do it without you. And to the homeowners, thank you for adding your houses to the town register. As I've said before, when you add your house to the register, to a certain extent, you're sharing it with the public. It's added to the register. Go on the town website as a notable location. You don't have to let people in if they're not going to stop by without an invitation. You're certainly welcome to if someone wants to learn about history. So again, thank you for adding your houses to the register. Typically, we have plaques provided to you. Unfortunately, they are en route, and we don't have them tonight. On the plus side, you get personal delivery from John Shearer, who may tell you more about your house than if there's anything that he left out the last time. So with that, I'm going to ask John Shearer if he wouldn't mind coming up and just telling us a little bit about the history of the Giddey Van Wert and Edgar Schottmeyer houses, which again are the 2 newest houses we're adding to the town register of historic places.
Okay, and another 2 houses being added. I think Giddey might be a nickname for Gertrude, I'm not sure. But Giddey Van Wert purchased her lot in Bishop Ferry. The house is on Riverview Road in the Bishop Ferry Historic District, the National Historic District. She purchased her lot in 1829, and the deed act says that the house has already been built. It says now built. So we know the house was there in 1829. And her brother, Eldred Van Wert, in 1836, purchased another 8 acres adjacent to his sister's house. She died in 1837 and left her house to her brother, who lived next door. And her brother, on his 8 acres of land, he built one house next door to where his sister lived, that he lived in, and then he built 2 other houses across the road. And after his sister died, all 3 of those houses were rental properties that he rented to the canal workers who worked at the dry docks in Bishop Ferry. There were 2 dry docks there, Hegeman's Dry Dock and Matthew Winnie's Dry Dock. So there were sort of tenant houses for the workers at the dry docks. Well, the two houses across the road, again, and those houses still, well, one house still stands, there's a newer house built on the other lot. But Eldred Van Wert died in 1861 at the age of 76, and his wife Elizabeth had died 1 year earlier. So the remaining property was willed to their daughters, Sarah and Gertrude Van Wert. There's that Gertrude, she's probably named for Anne, so that's Giddy is the nickname for that. But I love the word. I love the name Giddy. It's got class. Anyway, in 1867, 5 acres and 4 houses were deeded by them to Abraham Van Wert, a physician who may have been Eldred's either son or grandson. And he resided in Eldred's house, the present Peterson home, which is next door to the Giddy Van Wert house, and sold the other Van Wert houses off. Giddy Van Wert house was sold in 1868 to Nanny Van Vranken, and the Van Vranken family owned it at that time. So the house was really in dire straits back in 1980, and Peter and Maureen Lanahan sort of rescued it from falling down, and they totally restored the front part of the house, which is the oldest section, and it had sort of a shed in the back, and they tore that down and put a new addition on the back of it, very much compatible with the existing structure, and even used some antique doors that they found at another building to put into that back section. But the front section is pretty much intact. It has original woodwork, has the original stairway, and one of the nicest features is that it has 2 original mantles that were once around working fireplaces. And the one mantle is in the dining room. It's a very simple, plain mantle. But the other mantle, it's from the living room, is a wonderful carved federal mantelpiece. And right now it's in the shed, but I'm hoping Peter might restore that mantle someday, put it back in the house. That's a great, great piece. So,
He's been looking for a project. You should have heard us last week. I mean, we were handing out projects right and left.
that's right.
I'll report back.
So, the stairs are original. The upstairs bedroom has been enlarged so that the partition from the hallway upstairs has been removed. But otherwise, a lot of original doors, a lot of original hardware, and we're just pleased that the house has been brought back and made livable compared to what it was before they acquired it in the 1980s. The second house is about 100 years newer, and it was built in 1948. It's on Vischer Ferry Road. It's a Tudor-style brick house, and it was built in 1948 by Edgar and Mary Shopmeyer. You should all recognize those names.
Oh, yeah.
Long-time people. I remember them coming and sitting in the front row here at the town board meetings.
My first several years, they were regulars.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they
Until
built-
Edgar was, unfortunately, became ill.
But I got to interview him before he passed away, so there's a lot of
I
stories.
remember that.
And so he built that in 1948 and then added the garage a couple years later in 1950. But the reason we're putting it on is because of its architectural style. It's a Tudor style. This is a style of architecture that was really popular in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. In fact, it's a type of house that was really popular in the 1930s, and here it is being built in 1948. And my guess is that Edgar used probably published plans. And I don't know of another Tudor-style house in Clifton Park. It's you find them in the city of Albany or over in Troy. You usually find them in an urban setting, and they do exist.
Yeah, there are some, but they're Tudor style and they're very large homes.
Some
There
of
are
them, some of them are
yeah.
large, yes.
They call them Tudor style.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And this, one of the characteristics on this are the very steeply pitched gables, and it's got some gables on the front of the house, over the doorway and over the garage, which are also very steeply pitched. It has an arch-shaped front door, another characteristic. And it's got a round window up in the garage gable. So the style stems from medieval times, and in the 19th century and early 20th century were a period of revivals, and this is just one of the many types of revivals. And one nice thing about being on a committee that Alex chairs to visit these houses is that you get to go inside and see them, and a lot of the original material is retained inside. So it's a neat architectural style.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sure is.
And they have done some wonders with that building also. They put a dormer on the back so it doesn't show on the front.
Oh.
It's really enlarged the living space upstairs. So anyway, with the addition of these two houses on our register, we have a total of 50 houses on our historic register.
5-0.
So don't let anybody tell you that there's no history here.
We're making it every day, John. Making history every day. Absolutely.
And again, we want to thank the Lanahans, the owners of the Van Wert House, and of course the Kellys, the owners of the Shopmeyer House. Did you want to add anything? The Lanahans or the Kellys, do you want to add anything to the house? I mean, clearly it's a labor of love to them, an older historic home, as you've noted before. It's not a simple upkeep, certainly in terms of expense and time as a more modern home. So we thank you for your interest in preserving history.
I'd like to thank the committee for coming over, and especially John, who gave us a lot of information that we didn't have about the house. And it was a labor of love. Some trying moments, but we got through it. And
Well, we won't get into that here.
Pete always needs a project, and he's been busy for the last 35 years.
That's it?
Yeah, 38. He loves it. And I
no,
do
it's
too.
great.
It's been
Bishop Ferry
wonderful.
area is a
Wonderful
terrific
area.
part of town, and great people, and great place to raise kids.
It was a wonderful place to raise the children. We had a great time there, and the kids did too. So we love it. It was fun. A lot of fun doing it.
Very nice.
So thank you.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
We bought the house not even 2 years ago, so we just started working on our house. We bought it from Susan, who is the daughter of Edgar and Mary, and we tried sitting in the front row, but the cheerleaders. But we're really happy to be in Clifton Park, and we actually had our firstborn son in the house, so I feel like it's
Oh, wow.
more historical.
That's nice.
Oh,
Thank you.
man. Oh, that's tremendous.
Can we add that to the resolution?
You know, someday, like maybe 50 or 100 years from now, when the next town historian is talking about your home, they're gonna tell the story of how your firstborn was born there.
That's great.
On purpose, it wasn't.
Yeah. So see, these are the kinds of things that John digs up, and I'm sure that trend will continue.
Thank you.
Very
Well,
good.
well, with that, we're going to read a couple of resolutions and add both properties to the town register.
Thank you.
Resolution number 64, 2017, a resolution designating the Giddey Van Wert House to be placed on the Clifton Park Town Register of Historic Places. Whereas the Historic Preservation Commission has recommended that the Giddey Van Wert House, currently owned by Peter and Maureen Lanahan, 340 Riverview Road, Rexford, be added to the Town Register of Historic Places, and whereas the house may have been built as early as 1836 by Giddey Van Wert, and whereas the house, one of the earliest homes in the Bishop Ferry Historic District, retains many of its original features, and whereas structures placed on this register will be given historic status for purposes of townwide recognition, and as such shall be provided with appropriate marker and inclusion in the town brochure identifying all sites so designated. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby adds the Giddey Van Wert House, 340 Riverview Road, Rexford, to the town register of historic places.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilwoman Malowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 65 of 2017, a resolution designating the Edgar and Mary Schuckmeyer House to be placed on the Clifton Park Town Register of Historic Places, whereas the Historic Preservation Commission has recommended that the Edgar and Mary Schuckmeyer House, currently owned by Priscilla and Sean Kelly, 349 Bishop Ferry Road, Wexford, be added to the Town Register of Historic Places, and whereas the house was built in 1948 by Edgar and Mary Schuckmeyer, and whereas the house exhibits all the characteristics of the Tudor Revival style of architecture prevalent during the late 19th and first half of the 20th centuries, and whereas structures placed on this register will be given historic status for purposes of townwide recognition, and as such shall be provided with appropriate marker and inclusion in a town brochure identifying all sites so designated. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board hereby adds the Edgar and Mary Schuckmeyer House, Bishop Ferry Road, Rexford, to the Town Register of Historic Places.
So,
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard.
Councilman Whalen?
yes.
Councilwoman Standard?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wallace?
Yes.
Sorry. And Supervisor Barrett?
Yes, very good. And again, we appreciate the partnership of the Lanahans and the Kellys in this endeavor, and certainly appreciate your efforts. Look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you to John and the Historic Preservation Commission, and Councilman Whalen as liaison for all his efforts as well. Sure. Well,
You want to come up for a picture?
I mean, typically, I don't.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks again. Thank you.
All right.
Better?
Yep. We're looking this way.
Thanks,
All
man.
right. Fantastic. Flags are in the mail.
Nice to meet you.
Pretty soon you'll be all that's left.
Information by John. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
No, I just
Alex, I should have mentioned you by name.
Oh, no, yeah. So you were busy.
Again, we want to thank everybody. As John mentioned, that's 50 and Lyman. So, to forge partnerships with people that are...
Storm?
Yeah,
Well, we
listen.
went to the liquor store.
Oh,
Sounds like you're ready.
thanks. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have a few resolutions for consideration. Teresa, if you could read through those, we appreciate it.
A resolution awarding a contract for transfer station solid waste disposal, whereas the town published bid documents for this renewal of solid waste disposal contract with the transfer station on February 17, 2017, whereas bids were opened on March 10, 2017, and whereas County Waste Recycling Service Incorporated submitted the sole proposal, which included a unit price of $61.05 per ton. Now therefore be it resolved that the proposal of County Waste and Recycling Service Incorporated for the Town of Clifton Park Transfer Station waste disposal is accepted, and be it further resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign a 2-year contract with County Waste and Recycling renewable for an additional 1 year consistent with the bid documents and proposal. A resolution declaring a public emergency pursuant to the general municipal law section 1034 and authorizing the comptroller to pay S&L roofing and sheet metal for uncovered mitigation losses at the Burning Bush Clubhouse. Whereas on March 2nd, 2017, the clubhouse at the Burning Bush Park suffered damage to its roof and structure caused by high winds, which blew a portion of the roof from the building. And whereas the roof is the subject of a manufacturer's warranty through S&L Roofing and Sheet Metal, Gordonsville, New York, and the damage caused by the windstorm is potentially covered by applicable insurance policies. And whereas Section 1034 of the New York State General Municipal Law provides that in cases of an emergency situation arising from unforeseen circumstances, affecting public buildings or the health or safety of its inhabitants, the town board may authorize the public work or the purchase of material and equipment without competitive bids. And whereas the town costs are not expected to exceed the $1,000 deductible on applicable insurance policies, now therefore be it resolved that the town board determines that the damage to the Burning Bush Clubhouse caused by excessive winds on the day and evening of March 2nd, 2017 constitutes an emergency for procurement purposes under Section 103.4 of General Municipal Law, and be it further resolved that the town board authorizes Michael Hammerhand, Buildings and Grounds Supervisor, to enter into a contract with S&L Roofing and Sheet Metal of Verheesville, New York, or other qualified roofing repair contractors to perform emergency repairs on the roof and to pursue the town's warranties and insurance policies as applicable for the reimbursement of costs beyond the town's $1,000 deductible under the property damage policies. And be it further resolved that the comptroller is authorized to pay the cost of repair in the first instance from A 1626-200, which is Burning Bush Clubhouse equipment. A resolution authorizing the hiring of specialists for the 2017 summer recreation pool and halftime summer camps. Whereas the town board wishes to hire additional staff to be hired by the Department of Parks and Recreation to operate the town of Clifton Park 2017 summer recreation pool and half-day camps. And whereas Mila Kramer, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that the individuals listed in Schedule A attached here to be hired to fill the positions of specialists. Now therefore be it resolved that the individual specialists listed in Schedule A attached here to shall be hired to staff the town of Clifton Park's summer recreation pool and half-day camps effective April 3rd, 2017 through August 11th, 2017 per Schedule A. A resolution hiring Amy Price as the coordinator for the CPR grant as an instructor for advanced American Red Cross training for summer recreation staff, whereas each year the town of Clifton Park receives a CPR grant from the New York State Office of Children and Family Services through the Saratoga Youth Bureau to hire a coordinator for the CPR grant and as an instructor for advanced and basic American Red Cross training for summer recreation staff. And whereas Mila Kramer, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that Amy Price, 902 Solomon Avenue, Clifton Park, be hired as a coordinator for the CPR grant as an instructor for advanced American Red Cross training for summer recreation staff. And therefore be it resolved that authorization is hereby granted to hire Amy Price, Clifton Park, as a coordinator for the CPR grant and an instructor for advanced American Red Cross training for summer recreation staff to be paid at grade 5, step 6, $27.29 per hour, effective immediately through December 31st, 2017, to be paid from summer recreation training conference, summer recreation safety, full day training conference, and community programs junior CPR grant expense. A resolution authorizing the hiring of staff for the Clifton Park Action Park, whereas the town board wishes to hire a seasonal staff for the Clifton Park Action Park, and whereas Mila Kramer, Director of the Parks, Recreation, and Community Affairs, has recommended that the individuals listed in the attached Schedule A be hired to fill the positions. Now therefore be it resolved that authorization is hereby given to hire the staff as listed on attached Schedule A for the Clifton Park Action Park effective March 18, 2017 through October 31st, 2017 at a salary as indicated on Schedule A. A resolution appointing Neil Weiner as Deputy Town Attorney, whereas an opening exists in the Town Attorney's Office for the position of Deputy Town Attorney following the resignations of Paul Pellegali and Joel Peller. Now therefore be it resolved that Neil Weiner is hereby appointed as Deputy Town Attorney effective immediately, paid from $1420 employee as a salary of $25,000 annually.
Very good. Any questions on the resolutions? Teresa, if you read the headings.
Resolution number 66 of 2017, a resolution awarding a contract for transfer station solid waste disposal.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallowit. Standard bid for disposal of the trash that is brought to the transfer station through our permit process and also C&D and bulk items. So we're very pleased with the pricing as submitted. And, Any discussion? Teresa?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 67 of 2017, a resolution declaring a public emergency pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 1034, and authorizing the comptroller to pay S&L Roofing and Sheet Metal for uncovered mitigation losses at the Burning Bush Clubhouse.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Stander. Anything to add here, Mark?
No, this was based on the windstorm we had a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And I did get and I believe I did pass on an initial estimate from the insurance adjusters late on Friday. And I apologize today, I was out earlier in the day, so
Right.
I will get it.
Good notice. Isn't that nice though? Isn't it nice when people notice you're not around?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it shows you're a valuable member of the team.
I appreciate it.
You should be, yes, you should be thankful. Go ahead.
So, I'll get in touch with Mike Handerhan about I believe the price that the contractor was quoting him is different than the price that the insurance adjusters had initially laid out, so.
But the deductible is still the same.
The deductible is still the same.
Right.
So our out-of-pocket is
Right,
the same.
right.
I was actually somewhat surprised that there was damage on that building. I mean, there was some wind damage up in that neighborhood, but not to the extent that you would think, you know, the roof would have an issue, but, you know, who knows? All right, very good. Any further discussion? Okay, Teresa?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 68 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the hiring of specialists for the 2017 summer recreation full and half-day summer camps.
Second. Moved by Ms. Walowitz, second by Mrs. Standard. Myla?
This is sort of a follow-up to the last resolution we had hiring returning specialists. We had a few positions open, and Lori Hughes and I interviewed a number of wonderful applicants. The ones that we're recommending we think are the most qualified, and I think they're going to be a great asset for camp this year.
Great. And we're in very good shape as far as returning leaders of our camps. So
Yes.
I'm feeling pretty good
Yes.
about that as well.
Yeah,
And
we
I think Pete Bangs will do a great job for the full day camp.
Full day, yes, definitely.
Very good.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 69, 2017, a resolution hiring Amy Price as the coordinator for the CPR grant and as an instructor for advanced American Red Cross training for summer recreation staff.
So
Second.
moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Waller, and Amy was just here. As a matter of fact, this is nothing new here, right?
No, she's been doing both of these roles for us. I was actually thinking about it earlier. I want to say it's probably around a decade that she has been working with us, training our camp staff, and then also running the CPR grant.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, she's done a very good job. Okay. Susan?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Walowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 70 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the hiring of staff for the Clifton Park Action Park.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Walowitz.
We have a few new employees. Actually, one of the two new employees was one of the middle school kids who, when we were first designing the skate park, that he was involved in that. And now that he's older and he's graduated a couple of years ago, he's very excited to actually come and work at the park. We're hoping for an April 1st opening, but we're going to have to see how much snow we have left.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Tonight's going to be tomorrow. Well, you know, if we get, this time of year, if you get, even if you get a foot or so, it shouldn't last too long, although it didn't look like temperatures were gonna warm up anytime soon, at least getting into the weekend, so. Might be here a while, longer than you would expect. Any discussion?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Malowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 71 of 2017, a resolution appointing Neil Weiner as Deputy Town Attorney.
So,
Second?
By Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standart. As you remember, Joel Peller left service with the town as of the end of 2016. Lou Renzi has been a town attorney for a number of years. Asked for and was granted a 90-day unpaid leave of absence. So we, being already down one for the zoning board, which Mr. McCarthy has stepped in and taken on that role, we do need somebody to help out with the court duties. Tony Morelli has volunteered to help out in that capacity, and I believe both he and Neil will be at court this week, working together to make sure we get the coverage, and then Lou may be back in another couple of months. So we'll see how it shakes out, but we definitely need another attorney on board. Okay? Any discussion? Okay. Teresa?
Councilman Whalen?
yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Malowitz? Yes. Supervisor Barrett?
Yes. Okay, any other business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town issue, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward. State your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Perhaps one of our students has no? Sure? Your question is, when is this thing over? Well, at least you're honest.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Whalen?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Stander?
Yes.
Councilwoman Malowitz?
Yes.
Supervisor Barrett?
That's me. Yes, and yes, thank you, and we'll see you next week.